Hi, I'm Janina. Through my journey, I've learnt to embrace my authentic self, regardless of the systems and structures. This is my brave story. The stepping into bravery or being in that courageous position is just, definitely just my existence. I'm queer, and I'm also a herbal ritualist and ancestral practitioner, so I openly practice African spirituality. I'm also from Ghana, so within the West African community, that can be super frowned upon. And so just my everyday experience doing that work out in the open takes a lot of courage, especially because you can receive a lot of judgment, I guess, within that community. I grew up in a super religious, Christian household and community, and I'm probably one of the first within my family to be doing this kind of work from this perspective, and to also be openly queer. Yeah, so I grew up, or I went to a very small Christian school, which was probably 300 to 400 people, from new entrants to year 13. And everything was Christianity, even science was about Christianity. And I think we just moved house eventually, and I ended up going to a public school. Going to the school really opened up my eyes to being there's so much more out there. Just started to get tattoos and was being more creative with my expression, but then was not fitting into the church or the African church mold. Being told things like, you're gonna have to cover up your tattoos if you're gonna go on stage, because they also sang. And I would be like, what? But when I go pray to Jesus, I don't have to cover up my tattoos. I just come as I am. So why do I have to change myself to come up on stage to sing? So there were things that weren't aligning. I would say I ran away from Christianity and spirituality because of all the pain I felt from being rejected. I think I was still feeling like such a spiritual person, so I was doing research into different things and was drawn through music into West African spirituality. That's probably how I ended up where I am. I think I felt like connecting to my ancestry in terms of spirituality was something that aligned more for who I am, and embraced who I was more. Yeah, I think I still do keep in touch with a couple people maybe from church, but not really. Yeah, I think a lot of people are actually scared of me because of what I practice, which is a typical perception of African spirituality. I think at this point in time, I'm probably used to it. But I definitely think at the beginning, when I first started to step out in who I was and publicly show okay, this is what I believe. I think because I know my own truth and again, know my own intention, you just kind of have to not care. And also I think about my younger self as well, and thinking about what I needed. I needed the example that I am now for others. So that kind of keeps me going as well. I would say no, because I'm pretty stubborn. Yeah, so I think I was just nah, that I'm just gonna do what I want. So no, I think my personality, I'm pretty stubborn. I definitely had low points where I was just oh my God, how am I gonna do this? I like to say that my ancestors and that connection and continuing to nurture that connection is what kept me going. Yeah. I think I would say don't be afraid to explore the things that you want to explore, and just because you're exploring doesn't mean you're making a permanent decision as well. You can just dip your toe into things and see if it works for you, and then be oh no, or maybe it will inform you of who you are further, So just not being scared of letting certain structures and systems get into your mind and your heart space when it comes to exploring your being.